Too tired to fight with his hands, Jules throws the already battered van into the undead officers, with the sliver of hope that their cruisers held a morsel of food for his violently empty stomach. Squashing the last of them beneath rotted tires, he discovers the key to the roadblock, but is predictably devastated when neither of the vehicles provide the sustenance he needs. Fully aware of his ignorance when it comes to firearms, he makes the forward-thinking decision to collect them anyway, acknowledging their undeniable effectiveness when applied correctly. Puttering down the road, he spots a break in the fence that draws his attention. Atop the nearby hill and through the thick woods, he can spot a radio tower, which if this world was merciful, would have some sliver of food. Reaching the fenced-in facility, he begins to search the nearby buildings, and first places his shaky hands on a simple yet elegant tool, the crowbar. Feeling the natural balance of the weapon as he moves into the main building, his hope is dragged low over and over again as his hunt for food bears no fruit. Stomach in knots and beginning to feel his systems failing, he desperately marches into the spattering rain in hopes of finding literally anything to eat. He wouldn't last the night without something. A dash of movement catches his eye before his numbing fingers snatch a wriggling centipede from the cold earth. It would barely make a difference, but Jules' desperation had reached a climax that threatened to ruin him. Crunching down the writhing insect, the ragged survivor crawls into an actual bed and finds sleep rapidly taking him as his sluggish mind tries to come up with some sort of solution. Suffering in agonizing pain, he can't sleep through the night as his body demands calories and energy that Jules simply no longer has. Without a plan, and partially convinced it would be his demise, he drags his body back to the van and strikes out in the darkness in hopes of discovering more potential for food. One of the worn tires pops as Jules maneuvers down a country road, causing a loud pop that instantly draws the attention of the scattered undead. Trying to fight through his extreme fatigue, Jules is eventually forced to lose his pursuers in the woods once more, but finds a hidden cache of determination within himself as he circles back towards the stranded van. Discovering an affinity for the crowbar he wielded, Jules' final blaze ignites in his heart as he throws his final ounces of energy towards his last chance of salvation. Fighting continuously into the morning, Jules' arms ache, his legs shake, and his mind grows fuzzier and fuzzier by the moment. He's dying, slowly but surely. Gulping down a can of peaches, Jules already knows he'll regret his lack of control in the moment, but he cannot stop himself as he scarfs down not only the evaporated milk, but also the can of dog food alongside it. Knowing it was only a matter of time before his stomach growled violently again, Jules uses his burst of energy to strike out into the foggy morning, needing to reach another home to truly secure his survival. Surprisingly finding his stab wound healed enough to remove the bandage, Jules' high hopes don't last long as he realizes each and every road is guarded by hordes of the infected. Unable to find a direction, and knowing the risks of fighting in the unknown of the fog, he returns back to the house he had cleared, to allow himself to rest and for the dense veil to fade. Regaining a morsel of the life he once lived, Jules indulges in the temporary escape of a book before he collapses into a nearby bed to prepare for the nightmare to come. Using the time he had bought himself, Jules takes a methodical and careful approach to dispersing the dead around his next source of food, making sure to divide and conquer as the sun slowly sinks lower into the sky. Finally securing a house on the edge of the field, Jules feasts on chips and soda in triumph as he accumulates the beginnings of a stockpile of calories. Despite the coming darkness, Jules doesn't want to leave the shambling horde lingering in the nearby field. If he was to sleep in one of these houses through the night, he couldn't risk their numbers stumbling into his shelter. Fighting and clearing the neighboring home, Jules is finally able to almost fully relax, as his exhausted body begs for much-needed rest and sleep. Greeted with another foggy morning and more death, Jules checks the nearby shed before turning his attention back indoors to finally wash away the grime and blood that had grown thick upon his face. Waiting out the fog yet again, Jules dives into one of the books on electricity he had discovered during his journey, feeding off the recorded knowledge as the hours tick by. Determined to return to the safety of the radio station, Jules must first weave through the endless hordes before completing the journey on foot. Having to leave a valuable amount of supplies in the stranded van, Jules commits to returning with another working vehicle at some point, before beginning his long trudge. Truly rest since being overrun at the country club. Finally, it's quiet enough to put pen to paper. I genuinely feared I would never get the privilege again. I'm no longer starving, but by no means safe and secure like we had been. If only that utter degenerate could have kept his rampant emotions in check. You know, if I leave one last thing in this world, let it be this. Kevin, if you're still alive, you are by far the most inconsiderate, vile, and worthless human being I have had the displeasure of knowing. Fuck you, Jules.